Welcome to the MCS Academy Online presentation on safe driving. This is a presentation of the MCS Academy Online. All program content and materials is copyrighted and the sole property of the MCS Group, Inc. Use of this material without the express written consent of the MCS Group, Inc. is prohibited. The course agenda includes vehicle trip inspections, rules of the road, lane change awareness, mobile phone usage, and defensive driving. Our first topic is vehicle trip inspections. Driver vehicle inspections are an important part of the overall safe operation of a commercial vehicle. A quality pre-trip inspection by a driver can identify defective equipment before it fails and saves the driver and his company expensive roadside repairs, potential downtime, and possible fines. Repairing a flat tire at the home terminal results in a much faster and less expensive repair. A good pre-trip inspection will help you to avoid being placed out of service during a DOT roadside inspection. After you've had an opportunity to check tire pressure on all four tires and ensure that they are properly inflated, you can go into the vehicle, put the key in the ignition, turn the ignition on, and turn on your lamps and turn signals so that you can check the exterior of the vehicle and make sure that all of your lamp signals are working properly, and make sure that if there is any signage required on your vehicle that it is clear and clean and easily visible from the road. When conducting pre- and post-trip inspections, make sure you do not get under any vehicle or in front of any vehicle if there is any chance of it moving. Drivers should keep the key under their control at all times, making sure that the wheels are chocked when on an incline. Use care entering and exiting the vehicle. Never jump off of a vehicle. During pre- and post-trip inspections, they are conducted to ensure that the vehicle is operating safely. It'll prevent loss to persons and property, helps meet the regulatory requirements of the Department of Transportation, and it prevents any unmanifested freight from being placed on board the vehicle. Your pre-trip inspection continues once you're inside the vehicle. You're going to want to make sure that your seatbelt is appropriately operational. You're going to check your windows, your windshield to make sure that they're clean and easily visible. You're going to continue to check your signals and your wipers to make sure they're operational. And you also want to make sure to check that horn so that other drivers can hear you when you need to notify them of a potential emergency. To review, there are a few things that you'll want to check on your pre- and post-trip inspections. Those things will include your horn, your windshield wiper. You want to check your rear and side vision mirrors. You want to check any coupling devices should you be attached to any trailer. Check your fuel levels to make sure that you don't run the risk of running out of gas during the course of your trip. Check your brakes, both your service brake and your parking brake. Check the steering mechanism to make sure it's operating smoothly. Check your tires, your condition and pressure, and check all of your lights, indicators, and reflector. Completing your pre- and post-trip inspection includes signing and dating your record to make sure that the appropriate driver has indicated that they've completed that inspection. It's part of maintaining safe vehicle and a safe working environment. Next, we'll discuss the rules of the road. Each year, there are more than 40,000 deaths related to motor vehicle crashes. Unfortunately, most of these accidents could have easily been avoided. Accidents that are reported often include incidents where someone is driving too fast, they fail to yield, they disregard signals, pass stop signs, they drive to the left of the center line, make an improper turn, or follow too closely. The following are a list of rules of the road that are important for you to remember each and every time you get behind the wheel of a car. Red lights. Be prepared to stop when you approach a signal controlled at an intersection. Remember that the cycle time between green, yellow, and red is not standard and may surprise you at times. Your stopping distance may be affected by your load, your road conditions, and even the presence of other traffic or pedestrians. Changing lanes requires 3 steps. Make sure you look for room, Make sure you signal so that others know you're about to change lanes, and then watch carefully for traffic to make sure that no one else is trying to move into that lane. In construction zones, make sure you slow down because oftentimes there will be vehicles entering and exiting construction zones. Make sure you watch your following distances because you may have a vehicle in front of you suddenly stop because of change in traffic patterns. Expect that an aggressive driver may cut you off in an area where there is less room to maneuver. When approaching grades or crossings, particularly where a train may be present, slow down and be prepared to stop at the first railroad warning sign. Never drive around a lowered gate. Never race a train to cross. If you tie, you lose. If you're ever caught between the gate unexpectedly, get your truck off the track. If you can't move your van or truck, get clear and call for help immediately. In school zones, make sure you slow down, make eye contact with any crossing guards, and watch for children. Children may unexpectedly dart into the road, and it's our responsibility to help keep them safe. One of the most important driving rules of the road relates to your driving speed. Your driving speed should be appropriate for the road conditions, the weather, and the traffic. Make sure you always follow the posted speeds of the roadway. Here is a sobering statistic. Of the 168 drivers killed who were ejected from their vehicles, almost 75% were not wearing their safety belts. This is a direct quote from the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration. Every single trip, regardless of how short or how long that trip may be, requires that you wear your safety belt at all times. It's the law, and it saves lives. Finally, one of the most important rules of the road is to use your turn signals. Your turn signals are an advanced warning system. You are using them to let others know what you are about to do, and you should watch carefully for others' turn signals so that you can get a sense of what they might do. Don't assume that everyone is going to use their turn signals because some drivers may not. So you need to be prepared to act on someone's turns regardless of whether they use their turn signal or not. But you should use your turn signal at every opportunity. Make sure to allow sufficient time that the other drivers will recognize and see your signal. It's normally determined that 6 clicks of your turn signal are needed before the other driver will see and recognize what you are signaling. Once you've signaled, still check for other traffic. Just because you've signaled doesn't mean that the other drivers have seen your signal. Frequently, people use their turn signals to indicate that they're changing lanes. Check both sides of your vehicle and all of your mirrors to ensure that it is safe to change lanes. One of the important things is to determine what lane you should actually be using. Plan your trip ahead of time. Understand where your exits would be so that you can be in the right lane to both get on and off the highway as safely as possible and move into the appropriate lane far enough in advance that you can do so safely. When merging on and off highways, allow sufficient space that you can move that vehicle and the length of that vehicle into an open space on the highway. Make sure to adjust your speed to match traffic when changing lanes, both on and off the highway. Remember that every vehicle has blind spots. Blind spots can be on the side of your vehicle, the rear of your vehicle. In larger vehicles, can actually be in the front of your vehicle. Make sure you watch your blind spots not only going forward but in reverse and when making wide right turns. Safe operation of your vehicle means judging the space around you and allowing sufficient time to make the moves and decisions in a safe manner. Remember, don't panic. If you are too close to your exit and don't feel you can get over to that lane, don't try to make a move that's too aggressive. Miss your exit and turn around safely to get back to where you should be in your trip. One of the most dangerous hazards on the road today are mobile phones. MCS policy prohibits the use of cell phones while driving. Whenever possible, turn your phone off. If you must make a phone call and it's an emergency, safely pull off the road to make the call. You should put your car or vehicle in park and turn it off before making that phone call. We recommend that you use voicemail to take a message and return the phone call at a safe opportunity. A mobile phone is a distraction, and we must avoid distractions at all costs. When you use a phone, you're putting yourself at risk from becoming distracted and potentially putting yourself in a position where you may have a collision with another driver, an accident that may injure somebody, cause significant property damage, or even kill someone. Whenever we drive, we should always take a defensive posture. Remember, the right of way is something you give, not something you take. Remember that other drivers may not be following the rules of the road and anticipate that they may drive erratically. It's important for us to take that defensive posture in driving because there are erratic drivers around us who don't follow the rules of the road. And when they make a sudden action, it may take us 3/4 of a second to perceive the potential hazard that they've initiated in the roadway. After the 3/4 of a second of perception time, it may take another 3/4 of a second in reaction time for us to move our foot from the accelerator to the brake pedal. We've already spent 1.5 seconds before we've been able to put the car in a position of stopping. And then our stopping distance becomes very important. So it's very important that we allow sufficient stopping distance so that we don't run the risk of rear-ending someone in front of us. This requires that we watch other drivers, pedestrians, keep track of ramps and intersections that are potential hazards in the roadway. When driving, always look ahead. Try and anticipate potential issues that may be coming further down the road. Then make sure to communicate. Use your signal and horn to make sure that other drivers know what you're about to do. Take your time, drive safely, and arrive alive. Thank you for completing the MCS Academy online course, Safe Driving. To finish the course, you must take the test. There is a link to the test in the on-demand section of the MCS Academy. Please complete the online test, and thank you for your participation in the MCS Academy online.